Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy Decodes. Sit back and enjoy. And into the unknown.
Hello, welcome to today's show. Just like you know, I've not shrunk, it's just the angle of my camera, and it'll take me like 10 minutes to get it level, so I'm not going to bother. So welcome everyone.
Hey everybody.
Do you want to say a few hellos to people in the chat? Can you see the chat?
Yeah.
Got some names out?
Hi Deborah. Hi Margaret. Hi Elaine. Penny. Fred.
That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
so updates, which is good. So I have been speaking with Tommy this week. Tommy is coming back. He's going to be changing his hours at work. So at the moment he's working evenings and weekends and just crap hours really. So he's going to be within the next, I think we said 6 to 8 weeks or thereabouts, he's going to be back and he's going to be back on the Friday and possibly the Wednesdays. Once he gets sorted and he's just got to change his hours. Once that's done, he's back in. And we have a new co-host. He's probably just as bad as Tommy because on the way back from...
Not here.
You could not write this, could you? You really couldn't write it. So on that person's been out today, and they're on the way back from what I thought was a rave and a swimming pool, but it's not. But anyway, and the car's broke down. So for those that want to know who it is, it's Sarah from To Investigate. So she's going to be co-hosting. So it's going to be me, Nicole, Sarah, and Tommy. And I can now change the background picture as I've updated it. There we go. Ta-da!
Oh, pop us off for a second. I want to see.
Okay, one sec.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. No, I literally did that like an hour ago. So it was like last minute. I had to get it. Poof. So when we're doing it with guests, it's going to be panel because people are asking us to have panel shows and that. A lot of the guests like it when there's panels, but also it's not always going to be the four of us. Sometimes Nicole's going to be out investigating or vets, not herself, but a dog, just out doing the stuff that you need to do. Tommy, no more birthdays, so we might just be out on his own sometimes. Sarah works shifts and does musical theatre, so it's going to be a mixture of the four of us. But yeah, we'll just, how it goes is how it goes. So that's it. So when and if she does come on tonight, we'll just welcome her to the show. If not, she will be on Wednesday. Right. Just before I bring the guests on March the 9th, which is a Saturday, no, Nicole can't make that. We're doing the global, global Skywatch. So we're looking for between 6 and 10 people across the world that can just set a camera up outside using StreamYard, and then we can just look at different locations around the world and see if we pick anything up from that. So if anyone's interested, we've got 2 or 3 so far. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to be doing all the cameras from here. I'm going to sit somewhere warm and comfy. But if anyone's interested, just drop me an email at ufo@antidecodes.com. That's it. Have you got anything to add before you go?
No, I think we're good to jump right into the guests for today.
Excellent. So we have the wonderful and amazing, it works, Eric Wood, Paranormal Highway. He has his own YouTube channel, which is absolutely awesome. So anyone who hasn't watched it, please do subscribe to it. It is amazing. And we have his brother, Pt.2, aka Bob. Oh,
Well, we
we
have his
don't
brother.
have Eric.
We have Dr. Wu.
He took the wrong turn on the Paranormal Highway. Maybe. Welcome to the show. I don't know. He come on, he froze, and then gone.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
So, welcome. What do you prefer? So, Eric said to call you Bob. Obviously,
Yeah,
it says
Bob.
Dr. Bob. He's Bob Gup.
Yeah,
right.
call me Bob. Yeah. In fact, the name Dr. Wu actually came from Manchester. Somebody else called
did
me.
it?
Yeah, because my last name's Wood, and they were calling me, we're getting all high and having a good time in Manchester, and they were calling me.
Sounds about right.
Woo. Dr.
Yeah, so
Wu. I'm like, what am I? What am I from China? How's this work?
All right. Ooh. Yeah, one of them.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, for those who don't know, off air we was talking. Eric was telling me about Bob.
Yeah.
And he said he lived in Manchester for a few years in the UK. So then when Bob come on, I asked him whereabouts, and this is the next town down, a place called Eccles, which I know Deborah Hatswell in the chat will know, because she's not too far from there herself. So it's such a small world.
It is, isn't it?
It is. It's the chances
There's a
of that
connection.
is like...
That is great. Manchester... You guys have got it's totally an adventure there, man, because you got a lot of cool cemeteries, you got a lot of investigation stuff going on in Manchester. Holy cow.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Oh man, you're I had to go see your famous clock tower that strikes 13 bells.
Does it?
Anybody know about that one? You got it.
Born there.
You've never been to your
Born there, grew up there, up till I was 36, and then I moved away. What clock tower?
And you've never been to the tower that strikes 13
I
bells?
don't even know what you're talking
There's a
about.
clock tower in front of a cemetery, and it strikes.
Does it?
Oh, boy, it must be what they call the phenomenon, the Mandela effect. Maybe it never existed.
Ooh.
But it's there.
How many people live in Seattle that's never been to the Space Needle? A lot of people don't go to the main spots where they
Right.
live. They don't.
Because it's there.
It's there.
But it,
Yeah,
I've never been to Alice Island.
Right. Can I just clarify something? So Deborah Hatswell, who's a big investigator in the UK, who lives and does a lot of research around the area, has never heard of it.
What?
All right, story time.
If Deborah hasn't heard of it, then I definitely haven't heard of it.
It strikes 13 bells.
Do you know what? Have you got any info on it? Or can you send some over and I'm up in Manchester tomorrow, all over the weekend.
Well, I recommend you got to start from scratch. You got to go to the Unitarian Church. There's a Unitarian Church there, that never existed for me in my reality. But there's a Unitarian Church. It's really cool. It's got its own cemetery in the front. It's in the Eccles area. It's in, all the pubs are, and you go past the pubs, and they have this outside. You could sit in a small park area, and it was made for veterans, like a benches for veterans. And
Yes.
There's a park. There's a park right here. There's the canal. I studied the whole canal systems, which is amazing, by the way.
Yes.
And we go hours on that one. But then there's a Unitarian Church. If you go in there and ask them, hey, where's the clock that strikes 13 bells? And then they'll instruct you to another place.
Yeah. Bob, can you do us a favour? Can you turn your volume up a touch? It's a bit dull.
Yeah, how's it now?
Sounds louder.
Is it louder? We try it again.
A little bit. If you do a little bit more.
Good Lord.
As loud as you
Here we
can.
go. It's all the way up. How's that? Can you guys hear me now?
Can still hear you. It just seems a little bit just quiet. It's not muffled or anything. It's clear but quiet.
Or just bring your microphone closer to you.
I'm almost got. I look like a
I'm like
porno.
literally eating mine. Yeah.
Let me unplug everything.
Right. So I found out where it is. It's a town hall clock in Eccles. I worked in Eccles for like 4 years. I used to go drinking. A lot of my mates still live there. Used to go shopping there. My mum worked there. I've never heard of it.
Did you see what Danny said?
St. Mark's Church, Greater Manchester strikes at 1 every. Yay!
Now, Bob, you sound farther back now. Way
And
farther
And we've
back.
got a ton of echo.
Hold on. I don't think I'm supposed to be talking to you guys. It's probably trying to stop me.
Probably.
Let me. How's it now?
1,
How's
2.
it now?
That's better.
That much
No
better.
echo.
Okay,
Little
that's
echo.
better. What it is,
A
I
little
unplugged
bit
it
of
and
echo.
plugged it back in. Okay, so am I better?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing if I can hear myself. I don't think I can.
Here we go. And then I'm checking to make sure all my volume is up. And it looks like everything's up. So you guys let me know if you can hear me okay. You guys hear me okay
Yeah.
now?
If you go, so if you go in settings, go to audio on StreamYard, unclick automatically adjust mic volume,
Oh.
and then turn volume up on that.
Where the hell is... Do I go under edit? What the hell do I go under? What settings is that in here?
So
The
settings,
settings in the bottom,
audio.
of the windows.
More on your show. The Windows. In StreamYard?
Yeah.
Why is it?
So see, you got the icons at the bottom of the screen.
Where it says mute,
Yeah.
stop
I
cam,
see.
and settings.
I see. Okay.
So go to audio,
Okay, I'm going to audio. Go into audio.
untick.
And I'm looking at audio.
So you've got echo cancellation. Tick that.
Yep. Click that. Got you.
Yeah. Drop down where it says automatically adjust mic volume. Untick that.
Unticked it. Okay, unticked. Correct.
And then bring your volume
Turn it
up
up,
to
right?
about 150.
All right.
You've got a
Here we go.
slide bar.
Oh, look at that.
That's
There we
it.
go. I'm sliding it. 150. We're good.
There you go.
Check this out. Wow, we learned something new today. All you guys in the sidebar, write this down.
Show's over, Bob.
And
Oh,
this
God.
has been 5 minutes of tech support with Andy Coates.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No
Here's
charge.
funny. I'm not joking. All the guys in Manchester are techies. I swear to God, every freaking Manchester dude I met are like, what you want to do is, I'm like, what are you guys born with this? What do you guys, you all have this in the same
It is
school?
the thing.
Because you guys all know tech. It's weird.
No, you're right.
And you drink heavies.
I talked to Andy, who's from the UK. He's like, Eric,
Oh,
you
wait,
got OBS. You got
what's
to
that?
do this and this and this. Like, God, you're right. Everybody's a tech over there.
Yeah. It's because there's nothing, because we've not many dogmen, literally no Bigfoot. We've got a little bit of magic, some faith out. There's nothing else to do except learn tech.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, you guys have great cemeteries, and you've got a lot of puzzles, man. You ever go up to the phone booth? It's in God, I don't know the name of the town. It's a small town up on top of a hill. You got to drive quite a ways outside of Manchester to get to it. It's on the outskirts, and there's a phone booth, and it's one of your old red metal ones,
Red
from
ones,
World War II
yeah.
kind of a thing. And you have a specific set of letters around this phone booth. Yeah, and it has a code, and it's specific codes. So each letter, if you represent it by a number, you can you can do the numerology. So like I say, like A is 1, B is 2, whatever. Go down the letters, the list. And I was just, you have a lot of fun. I deciphered your mailbox, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, Freemasons put it up there," and all these. It's a whole big mystery around your mailboxes. But I noticed that in Manchester, all of a sudden, for some weird reason, your magistrate or whatever were taking away all those mailboxes, all those old red metal
I think they
ones.
sold it.
They were taking.
They sold them because
They were.
I'll
Yeah.
drive through the country and you'll see some random farmhouse and they've got one in the garden. Obviously, it's not wired up, but yeah, they just got rid of. There's some of them. They've got you can say it, Nicole. I can't say it.
Yeah.
Defibrillators.
Defibrillators?
ADTs.
Defibrillators.
Yeah.
Defibrillators. Defibrillators.
Oh, they have them like they'll have them as like book swap. So you take a book, you put a book in,
Mm-hmm.
and just weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I love those little free libraries.
yeah.
They're so cute.
But they've never got any books in there I want to read. Not that I read the ones I've got anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Somebody needs to do like a paranormal book swap.
Yes.
Oh.
You can only put good books in there,
Yeah.
like paranormal books.
Sounds good.
Well, there are good books, and there's the downtown Manchester library. You have a downtown. It's a big old Gothic library, and it's
That's
got
the
like the
town
Green
hall.
Man on the ceiling. All the
Yeah. That's in the town hall.
Uh-oh.
He's gone.
Down the rabbit hole.
a section where they
mentioned-
call it's. These are the books that you have to have permission to get.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He mentioned the Green Man, and that's it. It's
In Harry
only-
Potter, they call that the restricted section of the library.
I was
I
having
know
this
people
problem
that work
right
there.
before your show started. I had to get off of Google Chrome and jump on Brave because I was
Really?
just spinning in a circle right when you went on. That's why you saw me blank off. I had to
Ah,
go to
right.
Brave. Yeah.
So when I do it on the PC, I have to use Chrome. When I do it on the iPad, I've got to use Safari. I can't do Chrome on the iPad.
Weird.
It is so weird. Now, when I
Oh,
use
yeah.
Brave browser, it works beautiful.
I think I had that on my other OPC, but
Well,
I
I'm
don't
almost
know.
giving up on Google Chrome.
yeah, it's only because I've got all my bookmarks on there, and I'm just too lazy to transfer them over. These all I want mine. I've only got about 10. It's
I
not-
thought Safari didn't work on Safari. And you think it does?
yeah, on the iPad it does.
Oh,
Yeah,
you see,
use
I
my
have
iPad.
an
iPad and
too. I have
iPhone.
the iPad right here, and
Oh yeah, it's clear as. Honestly, it's yeah.
okay. I didn't.
So-
Well, I have to try it one day.
Yeah, every time
So-
I've had to do the show from my car, I had it on my phone.
Yeah.
Safari.
So that's why I had to change the time.
I bet you, my brother. I bet you he's restarting his computer
So
to get it
distant.
fresher, or
Yeah.
unplugging the modem because he's doing it from outside.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
He's doing it from Fresno, California, right? So Fresno, you know,
Oh,
they
okay.
don't want the word out.
Yes. So you're in Seattle, did you say?
Yeah, I'm in Seattle.
And he's in.
California.
He's in Fresno,
Oh.
California.
Is that north or south? Because I'm not well up on towns and.
No.
It is-
If you look at the United States of America, Seattle, Washington is northwest, and
Yeah.
beneath is California. So we're both on the west coast.
Ah, right. Got you.
He comes up here,
Yeah.
every 3 months or so, and then we'll go out and do an investigation, or we try to squeeze in a trip somewhere.
Right. Cool. So what projects have you got coming up, if you any, that you can talk about?
Well, it's getting close to where I do what I call the round the world Mary Island incident trip, and just in case, if you don't, I don't know if you, Andy, I don't know if you ever followed the Mary Island incident story at all.
I've heard of it.
It's one of the first most famous UFO crash incident. You know, it happened 2 months prior to Roswell. You know,
Yeah.
it happened before that, where in the town of Des Moines, where I'm actually in Des Moines, that's next to Seattle. So I live where the Mary Island incident has happened. So basically, the
Right.
fast story of it is a couple boats left the Des Moines pier, and there was several boats, and they saw over 6 UFO ships, not one, they saw 6. And one of the UFOs had a malfunction where pieces fell off from the UFO ship, killed a dog, broke a kid's arm,
Oh,
and that's all. It's all proven by medical at the place where kid got his arm broken. The dog got killed by certain metal that came from a unidentified flying object, which, you know, when we're talking 6 UFOs, we're talking from outer space, not.
yeah.
This happened. Remember, this happened 2 months prior to Roswell. So people say, well, it's probably a copycat to Roswell. No. Roswell is probably the copycat to the Mary Island incident. And then apparently it crashed. Now, there's different stories. Some stories said it just malfunctioned and left, and pieces fell on the Vashon Island. So what we do, what I mean is when we do like a Mary Island trip, we like to run exactly how the story went. So we'll start in the morning. We drive out to the pier, which is only 3 minutes here. You know, it's just I live in the area, and we go on the bridge, and my wife will film me on the bridge where the UFOs are there, and then they crash the island. Then we go to the ferry boats, takes us in the middle of the ocean where the incident happened. And then once we land on the island, we go down where most of the metal by this lighthouse fallen. So we kind of, it's fun. It's really fun doing it. You know, kind of re-stepping exactly how the ships go, and then we'll just walk down the water pier to the bushes and stuff. You know, and we look for pieces on the ground. Now Bob actually found a piece of a certain kind of metal. Bob found a piece, a kind of a metal that it is not recognized by.
Oh, it's a piece of UFO. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the Mary Island.
Yeah.
Like I said, we investigate it, and then you know, we come back. So every year we like to do a film of it. Kind of fun, just re-stepping it. And now, are the chances to re-see it? Probably not. But you know, but I always have a lot of theories that I believe my theories is right, because part of the story, if you didn't know, that there was a T-bomber that officers came down to interview the guy who's seen these, and it was the first case ever for the Men in Black too. First story ever that the Men in Black appear right here in Des Moines. And on this plane going back, that had a piece of the ship somehow crashed in Washington, where you can still go to the crash site of the bomber. You can actually go in there and look at it. And I'm planning to do that along with re-stepping where the UFOs happen. Now, my theory is that it had more than a piece of metal. They actually had an alien on there. And of course, I can't prove that and all that. And I've always told people that, and I get a few arguments that I always say, you know, the Roswell ship is from the Mary Island, because Mary Island had 6 UFOs. And people go, no, there were different ships. And I'm like, well, what do you mean there's different ships? How do you know there are different ships? So you're telling me in 1 year, by chance, we had 2 outer space ships from 2 different planets that just happened to be here at the same time? I go, they're probably the same clan. You know, everybody thinks they know and all that. Now, Andy, there's a deeper story that a lot of people don't even know about. That last time Bob was down here, we walked the trail, and I took him to a place called the Devil's Hand.
Yeah.
There's a place called the Devil's Hand. So, if people don't know what that is, it's supposedly a tree that's kind of like supposed to be like the Devil's Hand, because it kind of went crooked. So the story goes that this tree was going straight up in the air, and a connection with the Mary Island is when the ship was dropping stuff, radiation came out. Yeah. Apparently, they say, now this is from people who live in Normandy Park area. Normandy Park is connected with Des Moines, SeaTac, and all that. So, and they say just like week after the trees went crooked. It wasn't like they grew crooked over time. They said after it. Now, okay, people are like, well, what's the big deal? Okay, so a little radiation caused it to grow crooked. Well, somehow the story goes that a devil's portal is on this devil's hand.
Yeah.
And beyond more of the story is, of course, I don't know how much you know about, Washington has probably like the most famous serial killers in all of Washington. We have a lot of serial killers in Washington.
Something
we
to
do.
be proud of.
No, I'm not saying we're proud of
why
that.
I'm laughing, I don't know. It's just,
I'm not saying we're proud of that, but one of the most famous ones, the two most famous ones, is Ted Bundy and the Green River Killer. Their story is that before the Green River Killer went on his rampage, that they went to this spot, and somebody claims they saw him standing where the devil's hand's supposed to be, and then he went on his rampage. I'm not saying that he got possessed, but who knows? Apparently, Ted Bundy was there. There's a guy who stole an airplane. Bob knows that whole story about the airplane. He stole the airplane.
I remember you spoke about this on your show the other month. I remember watching this one.
And that airport is right next to Normandy Park. It's like connected. And they said that he was there. So all that. And Bob knows this since we've been playing there, like doing stuff. See, Bob's smart. When Bob goes there, he leaves a gift. I don't leave a gift. And since I've been playing with it, not leaving a gift or nothing, I have gotten skin cancer, had to get removed. I've gotten my kneecap, my cartilage is damaged, and I keep getting scratches and hurt, and
sick.
Got sick for the whole week in the stomach, and nobody knows why I was sick. And
I told him to stay out of the tree.
With all this stuff that was happening, the only thing that's connected is we kept going back to the devil's hand and playing with the portal. So
no, I wasn't playing. You were playing. You were playing.
Remind me, when I come to the States, don't go anywhere near Washington. It's not sounding too good.
Well, they say the lack of the sun is the reason why there's so many serial killers. So there's more depression here versus the other states. If that's true or not, I don't know.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
There's a lot. I don't think it's all the devil's hand doing it.
Yeah, that thing's evil.
Remember, the guy that stole the plane, he just got in it, took off, and was never seen again, was it? Is that the same story?
No, well, yeah. There's two stories.
There's the foot bandit guy who stole planes.
The foot bandit, but the one he's talking about, it was for I think it was Alaskan Airlines, and he got on it and he just got inside of it and started flying around. Prop plane. It was a prop, so it's a big, and he was just doing spins and circles over the Puget Sound, back and forth. And they scrambled all the jets and stuff. And you guys can listen to the audio. It's hilarious. He's like, hey, man, I think I'm getting a little sick. He's like, I'm going to go look for the whales in the water. And he's like flying all over the place.
People video it as well. And these videos on YouTube.
There's lots of them.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I wasn't 100% if it's the same one, but yeah.
But here's the skinny. Here's the actual story. Here's the story that no one talks about. Now, the dude is in the airplane. And they're telling him to crash it in the water, like land it in the water, crash it.
Yeah.
He crashes it onto a particular island. Okay. So it's one of the islands out there in the Puget Sound. And here's the funny thing. On the island that he crashes it on, it's a reformatory for children or for kids in jail. Kids, like whatever,
young offenders.
Yes, offenders. So they had all these children in this offenders, basically mini prison, on this island where he crashed it. Now, ironically, those children allegedly were being molested by local whatevers, because across the pond around that area, you've got Bill Gates, you've got all the rich people, all their mansions, just ironically are all around this one particular island where all these kids were in reformatory school. And he crashes the plane on that island. So there was a full investigation on the plane crash.
You're talking about the McNeil Island.
Yeah. So there's a full investigation on the island because of the plane crash. they had to investigate. Of course, they had to get all the kids out and away from that island, and close that place down. And then they're all squealing about being molested. And so all this information came out only after he crashed the plane on that island. Just saying. Yeah. True story.
There's mysteries, right?
That's a story.
Yeah. Now, he could have crashed it anywhere.
Yeah.
He could have crashed it anywhere, but he crashed it on that island.
So what was going down on that island that needed to be like?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
just a
People
plane,
say
was it?
UFOs and paranormal has no connection. The devil's hand proves there is a deep connection with everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he crashed it on that island. And that's when the whole investigation opened up on that island. Not only was there a plane crash, they kind of waved that to the side. They were like, hey, there's some high strangeness on this island. There seems to be visitors. Why are any millionaires visiting an island with reformed children? Well, they go there to donate money and help the children, and we try to contribute back. Bullshit.
No, millionaires don't want to just hang out with
No.
Kids
youth.
in juvenile hall, right? You're gonna hang out with. I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna go hang out with kids at juvenile hall on this island, this right across the way from my mansion.
Straight away, red
The
flag.
goodness of my heart.
everywhere.
So let's think solids. How that plane did crash there, and it started this whole chain of investigations, which really helped out a lot of kids. So
Probably
Kinda
the
like a
best
possession
plane
one.
theft
Sure.
ever. Yeah, so it's got to be.
Epic.
Now, if only a plane had crashed on a different island.
There would be no investigation, exactly, right? Because he could have crashed it anywhere. He could have crashed it anywhere.
He could have crashed it on Vashon Island when the Mary Island UFO crashed.
Yeah, he could have crashed it anywhere, but he crashed it on that island, that particular island. It started the whole.
Island.
Yeah. So, a lot of high strangeness in that area. But, I said Manchester has the same kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. Manchester has the same kind of romance. You guys have a lot of cool stuff there, too. You guys have a serial killer that hangs out by your canal systems. You know about all the
Deborah Hatswell. Speak to her. The Pusher. She's done a podcast on it. Yes.
And you guys have all these bodies, just people randomly being pushed into the canals.
Yeah. And this is why I moved 200 miles away.
Yeah,
We had Son of Sam in New York.
It's just there's a lot of places that I used to go to as a kid. Yeah, that if I knew what went on there really, I wouldn't even think about going there. Like where we used to go fishing and go for walks, like even with my parents, it's just the most weirdest shit ever. It really is.
I did your whole, you're into all your canal systems, man. I was doing a houseboat for a little bit. I was going all up and down all your canal systems.
Did you ever do the old train lines?
Oh yeah, I love your old train lines. Yeah,
Because there are waterways now. A lot of them run alongside the canals.
Yeah, they
of
do.
The waterways and all that.
Been
That's
almost
Monton. So if you go to Monton, where St Mary's Church is in Monton, you've got the Worsley Links Golf Club. At the side of that, you got the old train line, and you got Bridgewater Canal that runs alongside it.
Yeah, I was there.
That is weird stuff.
When we used to do those skits a long time ago, where you would send me a video from Manchester, and I put the video in my show.
Yeah,
you had one where I think you were in a graveyard, and you had that weird-looking tree.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them there. Oh yeah. Oh
but there's
my.
something about this one tree I can't remember. Something paranormal about it.
Well, I'm fascinated with haunted trees and when it comes to Manchester and England, if you just want to go on an investigation for like weird trees, like haunted trees, you can have a whole vacation planned. You could just start on one end and I was hitting trees. And there was one tree in this. There's actually two weird trees. There's one in the graveyard that actually has parts of an old coffin and an old metal railing. We used to kind of close it all off to the public. It's in the tree. It's cool.
Is that in Southern Cemetery and Princess Parkway?
I think, yeah, it might be that one. Because there's a couple of them, though. There is a couple of them. And these objects are growing inside of trees. and it's really eerie and evil.
It's like taking the spirit in a way, like soaking it up, kind of.
Because I did a lot of investigations, like paranormal with the box and all that stuff, and man, I ain't never experienced so many hauntings. The Manchester cemeteries are amazing. There was a guy I had to go visit. His name, we call him Scotty Two Thumbs. I call him Scotty Two Thumbs, and he did his own paranormal investigations on cemeteries. And I went to go see him, and he says, "Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. These things are evil, and they're going to say mean things." And I'm like, "Yeah, debunk, right? There's, you've got some interference on your thingy, whatever." Nuh-uh. Oh no, they say mean things.
That's just a local.
Portal? You think all these trees have some kind of a portal, kind of like the devil's hand?
Oh yeah,
I don't know how, but it opens up something.
Oh yeah, there's portals there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did I ever miss any of this? But I did see the sky open, a UFO fly through a portal and close again.
Yeah, in Manchester. Yeah.
I was pull over. I physically felt sick. I thought I was going to get cover myself, but it was that. It was that.
I mean, it's paranormal. It's heaven. I mean, Manchester's loaded.
And you guys know what's weird is somehow Bob and I got a weird kind of a connection, even when he was living in Manchester, because we both would have injuries on certain parts of our body that we both wake up. I tore my muscle here, and he hurt himself right there. Scratches on his leg, scratches on my leg, like that same time, but UK time, my time's like, and then every time we're together, in a way, weird things happen, like the famous Gettysburg ghost stuff. So it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like things happen when together, like you hear if one witch is powerful, but if they're surrounded with 3 or 4 other witches, they become more powerful. I think there's something like that with us, because how do we get the same injuries?
Our mom, Eric, what was our mom's name? What was our mother's name? Glinda.
Glinda the Good Witch. Our life until we're 17, so it's not like we grew up with our mom. It's like I forget her name all the time.
Well, I was talking about Glinda the Good Witch, from Wizard of Oz. It's like ironic.
Right.
It's ironic that you would have that name. I was like, okay, yeah. When I was in Manchester, I stayed in it was a house, but it was rebuilt from it was a 17. I can't give you the address though, but it used to be a 1700s tavern. The house even has its liquor.
What area was that? Can you give the area?
I don't want to give you. I can't do that because I don't want to get this person. Because the place that
Can you tell me how fair later? I'm not going to go around. I promise. I don't have time.
All I'm gonna say it used to be a 1700s tavern that was made into a house, and this person bought it and owned it, and says it's completely insanely haunted. And I went in there to debunk it, and no, it gave and gave and kept giving. This place was super haunted. Like,
right. Well, I've just remembered something. Salford?
Yeah, I know Salford.
The crappier bit of Manchester. Most of that is built on cemeteries. Mm-hmm. They've literally just moved the headstones and just built all the way across. I had so much at my cousin's house near where the rugby team used to be, a place called Weast. There's so much poltergeist activity in that house. It's ridiculous. It really was. Doors slamming, banging on the door, things going over your head. You hear voices.
Where's Nicole from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, what part of New York?
In the Hudson Valley, so we're about an hour up from the city.
Because we go to New York, upstate New York, almost every other year to a town called Cortland, New York.
Cortland?
Oh, yeah.
Outside of like 20 miles or 30 miles away from Syracuse.
Cortland. Have you been to the 1890 house?
1890 house is in Cortland.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, wow.
I have a brother-in-law who's working. He has a family member that's on a panel for the 1890 house, and he's working on right now to get us private, where we can investigate it privately, because, like, Ghost Bench or Ghost Hunter's been there. They charge money. but through a family member, he's trying to get it to us for free.
I want to
Right.
investigate.
Us two will go in there and
It's great. We went on a private investigation. It was us and a couple, like an investigator only thing.
yeah,
So,
they have a
there was
tour.
about
They
10
do tours every day there.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was about 10 of us.
But we
and
want to run
went
it ourselves,
pretty
and
late.
he's
Yeah.
working on getting us private.
I want to get
Nobody
in there.
else is allowed, just us.
I want to go.
That's what we did. We had like run of the place. It was awesome. We had so much activity. One of the best sessions ever was down in that basement. That's like a museum now. And we sat there back and forth with these spirits, having like just like a conversation for probably a good like hour and a half.
And then what was cool is we did a paranormal investigation because right outside of that town called McGraw, there's a high school that used to be a college. It's actually the first college that allow whites and blacks to go to school together. It's like the first. And behind this college, you go up this hill, there's a graveyard there, like a hidden graveyard that's all from the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we go up there, investigate it, and then we have Bob knows the wife's great grandma has a farmhouse that owns a graveyard on her own house. It's on her property.
Oh.
How do you own a graveyard? Like, yeah, it's our graveyard. We have to mow it. We have to maintain it. It's ours. The city.
I didn't even know. They even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
It is,
she-
around here.
They want to buy it from her, but she's like, then I'm giving up a piece of our property. We're gonna we're gonna keep it, and
It's pretty common actually.
it's common over there.
Yeah, because these old families, they buried their family on their land, and then maybe some neighbors or relatives, they got buried there, passed down with the family, and now they own these cemeteries and these graveyards. And they
Cool.
still
I want to
maintain
own one.
Wow.
I know,
wanna buy a
right?
graveyard.
We want to own one.
I want to own a graveyard,
No.
man. We'll throw some
Uh,
crazy
2 trips
parties.
ago, 2 trips ago when Bob was down, we actually did a paranormal investigation, a place called Black Diamond.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
supposedly they say in the state of Washington is one of the most haunted graveyards. But I mean, every place makes that claim.
Mhm.
We're the most haunted. This is the most haunted. And we went there, had a good time. We saw a few little things, nothing majorly. But I think the coolest part of that investigation was anybody watches our investigation video, we have fun in it. Okay. So
Oh, yeah, I
get
do.
a lot of complaints. Eric, you're supposed to sit there for 30 minutes and shut up and
Not
ask for
me.
noises. We're like, we
Nah.
do that when the camera's off, but when the camera's
Yeah.
on, I'm not gonna do a show for 4 or 5 hours. That's not our
Nah.
style. We
No,
like
I-
everything fast. But as soon as our camera person is related to us, just got out of the military, and as soon as he turned off the camera,
And a medic.
and a medic, he's also a medic. As soon as he turned off the camera, remember, Bob, we saw this floating thing.
Yeah.
Goes by, and it's almost like we can't prove that like these paranormal things know when you got cameras and all that kind of stuff. And they're not they're not gonna walk in front of you, they're not gonna do too much. But as soon as you turn that stuff off,
They know.
Everything
Oh.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we first got there. There was a lady, and she comes up to us, and I'm like, is this lady even alive? But anyway, she has a dog, and she was like, she's so serious. She goes, guys, there's a bear in here. I'm like, there's
Yes.
a bear?
yeah, in
bear
that
in
corner
here?
where the car is.
There's a bear in here? She goes like, there's a bear in here, and it can kill you and maul you up. And it's giving us all kinds of stories about this bear being in the cemetery. And we're like, well, we'll be fine. I've a hunted bear. Like, I'll be fine. I know how to deal with a bear. What is it? A black bear, brown bear? Was it?
That
See-
sounds like one of my dreams,
See,
to be honest with you.
there's a parking spot. There's a parking lot in front of the place. But the thing is, after dark, it's against the law to be on this property. So we hid the car in the back by this shed, where
hide from the
apparently where the bear is. And we're making that joke like, Bob, when we get back to the car, the bear might be there.
We've
Sat in the driver's seat waiting.
we filmed the cops. The cops were all over that area, and we were like, we had to hide. There's a cops, man. Eric's got it on the camera. There's cops, dude. We need to hurry up and get hit.
So fun.
Yeah, they don't allow you to be in graveyards
Uh-oh.
after a certain time. So
No,
we got to sneak.
Mhm.
yeah, we snuck all over there. We had to watch
Yeah,
out for that
took
bear
us out
though.
of the orchard in Gettysburg for being there
Oh.
too late.
That was
Nicole,
fun.
you know, Bob and I have probably had the most paranormal story that you're probably ever going to hear about Gettysburg. I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if Andy ever heard it or not. I don't know if you
I
guys
don't think so.
heard it.
Oh, they
Now,
don't know
Tell you
about it.
what,
Now, when
before
we
you
say
tell
this,
it,
this is going to be something that you guys are going to say, no fucking way. No way. Because this is beyond just seeing a ghost.
right.
All right. Okay. So,
Look,
okay.
before you tell it, let's have a break,
Okay.
and then we'll go straight into it.
Okay.
Is that right?
You got it, man. It's going to be interesting.
Excellent.
Trust me.
It's not even a break. It's called a spooky interlude, and I made it last night. And you better enjoy it because I found out how to do animation.
Yeah, I was
It's on the
saying
2D.
I wanted our pictures to be a cartoon, and Andy made us cartoons.
Oh, that's cool.
So someone made us.
Exclusive on this show right now. Bob,
Yeah.
we're privileged.
So
Oh, cool.
Emma, who is Sarah's twin sister, made us into cartoons, and I have now taught myself yesterday how to animate in 2D. So I did this video in 25 minutes. So you better like it, or there's going to be trouble.
Oh,
Here we go. A bit of a twist at the end. Not bad for 25 minutes. Never done one of them before in my life.
that is so cool.
It was so. It's bad, but good bad.
It's
You know-
good.
Well, Bob, it's good, but not as good as my 2D animation cartoons.
Oh, I loved it, man.
I literally. So I've got the app, and I found out how to do animation on it, and you can stop, and it stops recording. So you can start all the way through it. So it's so easy to. And once I got my head around how it was going, it's like yes. So I did that.
No, that's
That is
smart.
good.
I got to learn to do my own because I was paying this guy to do a 2D animation in my story, and they could get, they cost a lot of money and all
Oh.
that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I like
it. The app is worth
but there's
buying.
fun. Bob played a little alien in it. We had a Bigfoot in
Yeah.
it. We had creatures, and we went to another planet in the cartoon.
Then Eric kicked
so-
me off the show, and then it's never happened again. Because I apparently keep showing up drunk all the time. He's like, I'm tired of it, man. I'm like, what?
I'm not
You're
being
drunk
funny. You
now.
lived in Echoes. That
You're drunk
that's
now.
what you do in Echoes. You turn up drunk. You go
You get
home drunk. You sleep drunk. You turn up the next day drunk.
I loved Manchester, man. That's exactly what it is. You get drunk.
You
Oh,
do.
wait. Let me say it. Americans don't understand. You get knocked down piss drunk. That's what they call it. You
Yeah.
get
Oh, you
pissed.
get wrecked off
You
your
get-
head and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You get
Yeah.
pissed.
There's probably a
You
reason
will
why he's
get
not there. They probably won't allow him back.
Oh,
You
no,
need
they
to
won't let
come
me
back
back.
over.
I was illegal.
Manchester's probably like, keep that guy out of our country.
Well, no, I actually got to Eric and I were raised in a primarily Latino community, and a lot of people were illegal, and so it was always a bucket list for me, a fantasy to be illegal, and so I was technically illegal in England, Like I was illegal. It was kind of cool.
Because we used
I
to
love
live in an apartment complex that was for illegals that just crossed the border from Mexico. So we were illegals living in an illegal place.
Well, I accidentally got off in I got off in Ireland. I got off the plane in Ireland, but I was supposed to be going to Manchester.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I
Like,
got through some.
180 miles.
Yeah,
with the
well, I
Irish
got.
Sea between us.
Many mini bottles on the plane.
I'm smoking outside the airport in Ireland, and I was like, oh, this is not where I'm supposed to be. So I went back in. Somehow I got back in, got to Manchester, went way past, but technically I was visaed into Ireland, not Manchester.
Oh.
So I was illegal. I swear to God on my life.
You were accidentally.
Most people that live in Eccles are probably illegal anyway, so I won't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's
I
one
was
of them
fine.
places. Yeah.
I loved it. I was, yeah. So I was illegal all over. I mean, I was supposed to do 6 weeks, but it's supposed to be 6 weeks from Ireland, not Manchester. So they were confused, like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I've been here for 6 weeks. They're like, you're supposed to have been in Ireland for 6 weeks. And I go, well, I'm in Manchester for 6 weeks. They didn't even know how to figure out how to do this. Like, can he technically just stay because he's just got here? I go, well, I've been here, but I was illegally here for six weeks. So I got another extension. I didn't have to do anything. So it was kind of cool. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
You just learned something today.
I like that.
Yeah. So Eric, tell him about Manchester.
Well,
I mean, not Manchester. I mean, Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
Well,
Gettysburg.
the slow lowdown of the story, in the beginning where I took the job in Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
So I lived in Frederick, Maryland, which is only like 10 minutes away from Gettysburg. So
Yeah.
since I was there, my family hasn't moved up there yet. So I was living in an apartment all by myself. And Bob took a job at the Smithsonian.
I was working in Washington, D.C.
Museum in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So Bob was living with me
Smithsonian.
at Smithsonian. So there's stories of that itself with Bob. So if you guys didn't know, Bob's an archaeologist. He's a graduate archaeologist from the University of Washington. I know people look at the beard like, what?
Smart.
No, this guy is a real archaeologist. So and Bob and I, we both hated Frederick where we lived in. We both hated Washington, D.C. We hated Baltimore. The only cool place in that part of the country, United States of America, was actually Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Right. So when it's the weekends, we always go to Gettysburg. But on a Sunday morning, Bob said Bob wanted to smoke a cigarette at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, because in Maryland you're not allowed to, but in Gettysburg, since it's Pennsylvania, you could actually still smoke at a restaurant. So we went to get breakfast because Bob wanted to have a cigarette at a restaurant, and that's a true story.
Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Which restaurant?
Yeah.
She wants to know where, Eric. Where was that restaurant at? Where is it at?
Oh my!
They had black and catfish.
I know when you go through the town, you go through over that round path where the Lincoln did that speech, and it was on that side. That was 10 years ago. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. That was 10 years ago. Every time I go to Gettysburg, I'm looking for like a good breakfast place.
I see what you're doing.
I'll play look at the town, trying to bring back the memories exactly which one it was. Now, if that's still there, I don't know, because I was also looking to buy a home there because Bob didn't like it either. We didn't like Maryland, the Frederick, Maryland.
Well,
so
I was in DC.
After we have breakfast, we always go to the battlefield. Mm-hmm. We love checking out the battlefield. And then one morning, it was a Sunday. And the thing is about Sunday, a lot of people go to church. So it's more empty. A lot of church-going people up in the East Coast. Yeah. Don't know why, but they love going to church. So we're driving up, and right there on the right-hand side, Bob, you remember there's we thought, hey, that's a reenactment. There's people all in their Civil Wars. There's tents up. There's like working on people medically. It was like, dude, it's a reenactment. Let's go. Let's park.
Yep.
And so we parked. And we walked up. Now there's a split memory here that both Bob and I have. Now we both had this memory of this lady walking up to us in a white dress.
Potatoes.
She had this basket, and I remember her saying, I don't know exactly, but like here's some bread. Did you bring something to the feast? Because I guess you're supposed to like bring something, and like you're switching.
Yeah.
Now I
like
remember
training.
bread. Now I don't know if this is a major part of the story, but Bob remembers. No, Bob goes, no, it's potatoes. It wasn't bread.
It was potatoes because she had
I
a big ass
smelled
pot.
bread.
She was asking us to bring stuff to put into the stew pot.
But see, I smelled the bread. I remember bread.
She was making bread, but she asked us to we bring any potatoes for the stew pot. That's exactly what she said.
And this is not the first time where Bob and I have different memories of certain things growing up. Like
You
camping
could
with Bob and
smell
I
all the
was good.
food that was going on as well.
Well, there was like a fire pit, and they're doing this big stew.
And-
There's
Yeah.
all these tents with like medical doctors. There was like medical equipment, medical supplies. So Bob and I would just walk around the tents like, God damn, these people look real. I mean, these people
They
are
were real.
into it, right? Remember Bob? Like
They were
you're like,
real.
dude, look at these actors, man. That looks like real freaking blood.
Yeah,
Huh?
no, they were real. Yeah, no, and also they had a big old pot and they were boiling horsehair in it, and I was like, "Oh, you're boiling horsehair for thread? It's sterile." But you know what it was is okay. So this was a medical camp, like a MASH unit, and
Yeah.
a lot of them were actually there were Southern surgeons because Southern surgeons were smarter than Northern surgeons. I don't know, people didn't know that. And the Southern surgeons were way smarter on their technology and ideas and stuff from the indigenous people, from all the old medicines and stuff. So they were
Yeah.
brilliant.
They had to live off the land more.
So
Yeah.
it was a MASH unit. However, it was also like they were captured Southern surgeons in there. It was an all for one tent, and they even had Northern surgeons and Southern surgeons, and some were showing the Northern surgeons to boil horsehair because it's sterile when you use
Yeah.
stitches. And they were showing them sterilization of things because the Northern surgeons didn't know any of this. So, I mean, this was actually being taught. It was like a school for all and then also the real soldiers were coming in. And they were like doing the amputees and all that fun stuff. And Eric's like, "God damn, this looks real." I'm like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah,
Sure
you gotta
does.
understand they're running out of a regular string to sew people up. So
Yeah.
by cutting the hair, they're telling us that it softens the hair up, and they also learned that it sterilizes everything. That's how they learned to boil a piece of tools and stuff, because they were using the same tool from one body to another body, and everybody got some infections, and they were dying from
Well,
surgery.
and I want to know. Okay, so I was like, okay, so this dude's got his leg half blown off, and they're gonna cut it off, right? So like, okay, how are you gonna do it without? Is he gonna pass? You guys give him whiskey, like in the movies, But no, they have this cool metal mesh. It's a metal mesh, and they put a cloth on the inside of it, and it's filled with knockout juice, and then they put it over the mouth. It's just a metal mesh, like you would have like a sifter, like you would have sifting flour, kind of a mesh.
Yeah. Oh,
over the
yeah.
face.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and they would knock them out. And I'm like, holy shit, actually, so that's how they do it. So that's how they knocked them out. So they weren't screaming at the table. So they're completely knocked out. And then they freaking sawing like crazy to get that dip. And then they start doing the hair stitches, and they do a little cauterizing, all kinds of crazy cool stuff. But Eric is like, dude, this is real. I'm like, yeah. We're actually here.
This is the best reenactment that we have ever seen. I mean, this is just like, wow. Remember they had a special tent for the officers. Like, if an officer gets hurt, they get the best care. They get the best doctor. They get everything.
Yeah.
And all that. And then Bob and I were sitting in the chairs with some other soldiers with like missing arm, missing leg, getting food and plate. And they actually gave us some food and plate. And I remember they gave us 2 mugs of beer. And I remember telling Bob, this beer kind of tastes flat. And you're telling me that's because they made it here.
They make it. They made it there. So it's not
I
gonna
was thinking Bud Light or Coors, but no, it was flat.
Well, it's kind of like hard
Did
cider.
anyone question how you were dressed?
Oh, we dress like what we see here. I have a cowboy hat. I always have a cowboy hat.
You must have been dressed different to the time of what that period was that you was in.
Yeah,
and no one questioned anything.
Well, we have both had cowboy hats, and we probably look like some fancies from the north or something, but no one said anything.
Right. Right. So
and guys, and we were there for like over 2-3 hours sitting at the chairs with these people, and we're like, hey Bob, you notice why nobody else is showing up? Where's everybody else? Is everybody in church all day? in the east.
Yeah.
Nobody. It was just so we felt like
And
this
them.
is the golden pot. We
Yeah.
found the golden.
So
So
you
basically-
was literally in Gettysburg for 3 hours.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
The
So this is the weird
Time,
part. So
the moment.
So
Yeah.
I'll speed it up so we're like, okay, it's getting kind of late now. We're getting in a car and we were driving away from the park, and it did feel like it got brighter somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but like it felt like you were in a movie theater, and when you go out, your eyes is
Yeah.
adjusting to the light. It was almost
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
I remember we looked at our clock and it was like, dude, we're only there 45 minutes, and we know we were there for like 3-4 hours. So that was the first weird part. But you know what? We're like, I don't know, maybe we should be drinking and driving or something. I don't know. But we didn't feel drunk, but we did have their mugs.
What Eric's talking about with the light, now I'll tell you that right now. What it is they had all that black powder smoke everywhere, right? So you got black powder smoke everywhere. It's you smelt like black powder smoke.
It's all smog and
yeah. So once we get back out and hit a certain area, it got bright again. I said, well, because there's no black powder smoke.
Could be. I mean, you never know.
See,
this is the weird part. Okay, we get home. It was a Sunday. No, Monday's a regular work day. So I went to work. Bob went to work. And then when I came back, Bob came back, and that's when Bob had to tell me something. Remember you told me, like, dude, did you know? Bob was like, yesterday, I just found out from my because Bob was telling people at his museum about the thing, and they're like, there is no reenactment there yesterday because they will know because you got to get permits, and a lot of times his museum will donate stuff for the reenactments because they have all the things there.
That's why I knew where to go.
Bob
I knew where to go.
You've got to get security and everything before it is a lot.
I flip Bob off. I go, fuck you. You're lying. He lives in a reenact. No fucking way.
Yeah, we were in Gettysburg.
I was forgetting. When you were saying that you sat there with him, you thought it was a reenactment. You didn't realise it was some sort of time slip.
Eric didn't.
Yeah, so it wasn't until... So it wasn't until the next day.
Eric didn't.
When you confirmed that was not a reenactment.
Because I'm a museum guy.
How long after that did it take to hit home that, wow?
We made phone calls first. We made phone calls like, hey, did you guys have a reenactment? And one person, no, there was no premise for a reenactment. We actually drove up there again, went to a couple places, a couple shops, like not like, looked like we're crazy, like, hey, I heard there was a reenactment here this last Sunday. No, there was no reenactment. We asked people in Gettysburg. Nobody said there was no reenactment. City Hall said, nope, there was no permits filed for a reenactment and all that. And so we're like, it can't be, because it's different when you see something that's like light, you're like things of ghosts. Yeah. And when something is too real,
too
back
solid.
in your mind is like, it can't be real when something's too real. I go, no, it just can't. No, it's too real.
But Bob, you said you knew it at the time that you were in some kind of thing. How did that feel?
We're in Gettysburg. Yeah. Eric's having a good time. Shit, you should have seen where I was at when I was in Manchester. They got a lot of little places over there. They got little places. I gotta go there and take you one day, man. I'll take you a couple spots in Manchester. You'll love it.
We should all go.
Yeah, you better wear a jerkin now. You'll have to wear a leather jerkin so you can pass. A leather jerkin, you can get past at any time and dimension where you're at in England. Just wear a jerkin. He's like, what are you talking about?
I don't know what a jerkin is. Jacket?
You don't know what a jerkin is. Oh my gosh.
English. I have no idea.
And
anyone enlighten me, please?
In World War I and World War II, military standard uniform for your military, you had your regular uniform. Also, they issued you guys, it's a leather, it's got 4 buttons, and you cover your uniform for extra warmth. They wore jerkins in World War
like a trench coat type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like Matrix.
Yeah, and it's made of horsehide. It's I got one. And
Jeepers Creepers. Yeah,
pure leather. Yeah, if you wear one of those over there, we could go through time, dude, and you could probably
get stopped by the police quite a lot, thinking that you're carrying. Well,
Oh, I know you guys have so many rules about that. I brought my tomahawk, and it confused your police because they were like, I'm like, no, it's a hammer. See, it's for wood, and it's got a flat back, and it's I have an actual tomahawk from Tommy Two
Yeah.
Hawks, and your police go, well, I guess it's technically a tool. I'm a carpenter, so I got to keep it. But you guys have like, you can't carry a knife blade longer than a certain length.
Two inches, I think. A pen knife.
Yeah,
That's it.
man, boy, I was handing out knives.
If you were caught, if they're allowed to stop and search, if you were caught with anything, and they, regardless of what you say, and they consider it to be an offensive weapon, you're in cuffs. You're gone.
Yeah, and if you don't pay your BBC tax, also, right?
Oh, TV license.
God bless America.
You guys don't understand that, and they have to pay a BBC. It's a channel tax. It's just a tax. You have to pay.
BBC in the UK don't show commercials, so you have to pay for non-commercial TV, even though they are probably the worst. And everyone watches Netflix now, anyway.
Yeah, or you get arrested. They can legally arrest you for not paying your BBC tax.
I remember they come round to the house when I first left home. I was about 20, 21. And they knocked on the door saying, you've not got a TV license. I'm like, well, I have. And he goes, no, you're not. And I worked out, they said, oh, we've got detector vans and we can work out if you're watching TV or not. No, you've not. You've got a list of addresses where people don't own a TV license. So you go and knock on the door to see if they've got one.
Papers, please.
The
Papers, please.
And it detects that you ain't paid for your bill. That's it.
Or you go in front of a judge. You literally could be arrested. You're like, wait a minute, you get
so goofy.
Yeah,
and they can read you your rights.
Yeah, it's so funny. And you guys have they have like a confiscation police. If you don't pay your bills, excuse me, we're gonna go through your house and go through everything you own and take it from you and put it on auction to pay your debts.
Yeah.
In your house.
And they do it at the lowest value from about 1800s. It's not even current day value, nothing. It's
this as an American, you're like, okay, no, this is I've never heard of this. Like, yeah, because Americans don't have people come in their house, cops, and then confiscate unless they have drugs or something, but there's this is an arrest, but they don't just, I owe bills to something, okay, so you have bad credit, it's kind of sucks for you. You can't buy a house. But anyway, in England, no, you pay your debts. They go into your house and they got kids crying and keep your kids over here, please. Papers, please. You've got a nice stove, and they're just like marking down all your shit, hauling it out of the house.
Yeah. It's like you're selling the contents of your house, but you're not getting any. You're literally giving it away for like tenner. So basically, yeah.
They live in a state. It's like a movie, and everyone's like, "No, I always thought of England as what?" Like, yeah, believe me, it's like a fascist state. It's insane. Wow, you guys have so many crazy rules.
Yeah, welcome to England, everybody.
See, he's not really reacting like I'm reacting because he's born and raised in a fascist state like that. I'm like, dude, they're coming into the house and taking out your toaster. They're carrying out your television. They've got jewelry, family pictures. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And they're loading it up.
They do an inventory of everything of value.
Yeah. And I also love how so you could be I can get mad at my son, like, I'm a regular parent. I got mad at my son. I'm tired of dealing with him, so I can call up social services and say, my son is insane. I want him locked up. They'll come with a van and some social workers, and you can lock up people anytime. In England, they could just take you to the mental house. They show up in vans, and they got like police social workers that come out. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, they got blicked off. But they could also commit you for anything in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can get
people need to go in England.
Gun. anything.
That's why
I
they're
like
so
what-
polite.
I like what Danny wrote. US does it too. They just call the IRS here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the IRS. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the IRS.
so-
Yes, actually, yes.
Yeah,
I didn't think
so
about that. Yeah.
welcome to England, the land of rules and regulations. That
Welcome
you are
to America, the
you
Wild
are-
West.
pretty much guaranteed to break at least 10 a day
Oh,
just through
you break,
normal living. Not even
you
doing
break-
anything wrong, you'll break a rule at some point.
always break. Everything you do, there's illegal. I don't know what is legal. You just assume it's illegal, whatever you do in England. I remember during the COVID, dude, I was there during the COVID. And you has the constables walking around and, excuse me, you are not supposed to be on the streets. Like, hoarding people back to their houses was the COVID times. It was 2019, 2020. They were just like corralling people, and cops are walking the sidewalks, making sure nobody's leaving the house. And if you're walking on the streets, if you're walking on, I got all the time. They stop me every fucking day because I didn't fuck. I'm on vacation. I didn't know I'm supposed to be in a house. The cops let me go all the time, but I'd hang out with people. They had to form
Well, they don't know how to
jogging.
write a report on you.
Well, the English, the Manchurians got smart and they started forming jogging groups, running groups.
Yes. Jogging and walking.
Yeah, and so they would get together in the parks and they'd wear all their Pilates sweatpants.
No,
workout
you
clothes.
buy merchandise with the name
Yeah.
of the Facebook group who
But
sorted it out.
But secretly, they were getting together and having talks. They were talking about, hey, you guys getting the jab? Fuck, no, I'm not getting the jab. And then some guys were putting like a card that he says, I don't want the jab. And they were putting it on their phones with the camera facing out. So anybody yells at them for not wearing a mask or, especially not wearing a mask or gloves or anything, they would they said, look, see the paper? It says I am opting out. And keep people, because they were figuring out ways to get around the jab and forming in small, like, it reminded me of like a rebellion. I was like, this is cool. English are smart. They're having
I've
workout
got
groups.
so many stories about lockdown. I'm not going to share them on air.
Well, see,
That's
'cause
all I'm gonna say.
America was like, everyone's like, you have it on, you don't, whatever. Everyone, there's not like England. Oh no, the cops were like,
People with the right mentality was like, you either get COVID, or you don't get it. That's
No,
it.
and New York was getting very strict with it. Like a lot of people got let go from their jobs and hospitals and everything if you didn't get it. And then immediately after, they said, "Oh, well, it's not a regulation anymore. We didn't say you had to get it." But then you just fired all those people.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen that too. And here's the funny thing, because I used to hang out with doctors, like medical doctors, like actual real medical doctors. And I'd go have meals with them at the pub, and they know I like to see all the, because I have physical anthropology, I like to see all the stats. And I'm looking at the paperwork, and I'm like, I'm noticing a pattern here. All the smokers are not getting COVID. The smokers and the drinkers are not getting COVID, but why? And we're looking at it going, oh, I see. The nicotine goes into the first chamber of the lungs and kills any respiratory virus. So the tobacco kills the virus. And, and the smokers weren't getting the COVID. And also the ones that smoke and drink, because you have alcohol also in your bloodstream, which is thin, and it's killing the virus also. That makes it past your lungs. So I'm like, oh, ironically, the smokers and the drinkers are the ones not dying. It's the healthy
This is
people
also
that are dying.
not medical advice. Please do not take your medical advice from this show.
Oh, yeah. No, don't take it. Nah, because I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not a medical doctor. I'm anthropology, so it's totally
Dr.
different. I'm just
Dr.
looking at
Wu
it.
and his medical advice for the UK.
Okay. Well, last
so
week
the
we
people
told people not to play the choking game. This week we're telling people not to smoke and drink to
Yeah.
avoid COVID.
We need
But it's
to have
the
a
data.
disclaimer
It was like
each week.
Right?
I was like, why are these people not? And there's a big spike, and I go, let me see their. I want to see their. Oh, smoker, drinker, smoker, drinker, smoker, drinker. No COVID, COVID, drinker.
You're
Oh,
degenerate. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just,
Hey.
guys. It could
It'll
be a
protect you
coincidence.
from most things in life.
Interesting.
There's my
Smart.
disclaimer there straight away.
Uh-huh.
For entertainment purposes only, correct? Yes, yes. Because we don't know if that's right. That's a small portion of the entire.
Anecdotal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't
sure.
take UK seriously at all.
No. No.
Well,
You guys is medical.
Your
You
cops
don't,
can't even
but-
carry guns there.
You guys don't get me started on their medical system. It's a fucking joke.
Speak softly and carry a big stick because you can't have a gun.
Yeah, you can't have a gun there. Oh no.
Well, you
but
can,
Can you have a
they-
big stick
but
over there?
illegally.
yes, you can legally in the countryside to protect the
If-
sheep.
And your property, you have to have a fire. Same as over there, I think. You have to have firearms license. Has to be locked away. The key has to be somewhere else. Ammunition has to be in another place, locked away. And I know a couple of people with firearms license, and they were telling me, and it's like there's no point having one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard for you guys. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
well, I did know a lot of guys that made zip guns, which was kind of cool.
Zip guns.
Oh God, and you're Mancurian, dude. Oh my God, I'm joking. Zip guns. They take.
I probably know
they
them. I
make
might know them with something else.
like a slingshot pistol.
Oh, like a BB gun.
Yeah, except they put an actual shell in there, and then you just slingshot it.
Yes.
A zip gun. Yeah, you had a
Yeah.
lot of guys that made zip guns.
Do we have
in
time
England.
to
I'm not.
pop through some questions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got a
Are you
bunch.
ready? First question: where do you get a zip gun? No, I'm messing.
They have 3D printed ones too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I'm actually getting a 3D printer soon, so
There you go.
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. Right. Anyway, first question from Og. What's the reason for the clock doing that, striking 13 times at 1 p.m.? Anyone know?
You guys answer that question.
I don't know the answer.
I didn't even know it existed, and I lived there, literally the next town for 30 years, and did not know it was there.
Oh, it's there.
I could probably hear it from where I lived. It's that close.
Dude, it's the most haunted place in all of Manchester. You have to go there. You have to go there. I've went there 2 or 3 times, and man, I got solids and solids and solids and solids from that place. And of course, it's got that
Right.
weird clock.
Well, when I'm going getting the train tomorrow morning, we're going to Bolton, which is like going north west. I think it's going out. It's different part. But I'm not getting the train back till late on Sunday. I'm off work Monday, so we was going to go to a couple of places where I've had encounters and weird stuff go on. That has just been added onto the list.
Yeah, you want to get there when it strikes 13.
Get there at 1 p.m.
Like somebody
Yeah.
gave the answer.
You got to get there.
Toronto wrote 13
You gotta get-
zodiac signs.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now there is. Yeah.
Can you put that up, Nicole? I can't
So
see
I
it.
googled it. Clocks with 13 hours instead of 12 are often used in systems called decimal time or metric times. They divide the day into 10 hours, each hour into 100 minutes, and each minute into 100 seconds. It's that damn metric system.
Yes.
Ooh.
We don't even
Wow.
use metric. We use imperial and metric.
Wow.
I'm lying. We use both just to mess it up completely.
That was the first thing that came up on Google.
That's fine. I didn't even know that.
Huh.
Maybe it was like 25-hour clock. Sounds about right.
Right, signaling the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Next question. Right. So this is for Bob. This is from my cousin, who's also called Andy. Question for Doctor Who: how many haunted souls did you have to fend off to get out of Wangy's pub in Eccles?
What are you talking about? There's a
You must have
game.
been Wangy's,
bar
it's not
there?
the Cloth Keys.
It's funny. I do have a story about gay bars. There was a gay pride thing downtown in
Oh, on
Manchester.
Canal Street in the village.
There was a massive. And anyway, so a gal calls me up and says her daughters sound like they're really, really like messed up and passed out, and they needed help, and they're like downtown. I go,
Yeah.
huh? Do you know where their location is? She goes, the last place I found out was like somewhere downtown Manchester, whatever. Is I go, oh well, let's go find them. It could be in danger. You can't have kid passed out somewhere with all these drunk people walking around. Lucky enough, it was a gay parade, so all the guys were gay, so they were safe. But Went down there and I was asking, "Hey, man, I'm looking for these two girls. Here's the picture." And next thing you know, I'm surrounded by all these gay men. And guess what they're doing? Help me hunt for them girls.
Oh yeah.
I had the whole these gay guys are coming out of the bar and they're like, "Oh, let's go help this guy find these two
You
missing
know what?
girls." So
Do you know what? Some of the best nights I've had drinking in centre of Manchester has been in the gay village.
yeah,
The
they were cool.
atmosphere, the music, everything is just spot on.
Yeah.
It really
They
is.
they found the girls. They were passed out at the train station or the whatever shuttle station. Where they passed out, one was there, and another bunch of guys found the other one passed out in some bushes somewhere else. But we got them thanks to the
Wow.
gay parade, gay bars.
That's
So
awesome.
shout out to them, man. That was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, the mom was real happy. Thank you, gay men. I'm going to go now, though. I'm not going to hang out with you. I mean, I like the
Simon's
YMCA.
just
I like the
Simon's just
YMCA.
thought, and I'm sharing a hotel room with you, Andy, tomorrow night. I didn't tell him where we're going after. He's just found out.
God. Oh, yeah. That's a true story, by the way.
Yeah, I totally believe it. Right.
Oh.
Next question. So this is from Danny Statham. Ask them about their Civil
We
War
just
ghost
did that
experience.
story.
Yeah, right. We've done that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next
Dick
one.
Midwest was asking Bob, you a piece you took away from the Gettysburg
Yes.
thing.
Oh, where did that? Oh, here we go. From
That one.
Gerald. Ask Doctor Who what he brought home with him from Gettysburg.
Time
Oh.
slips.
I ain't saying. I'm not gonna... No, I could be arrested.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I don't want to. You gotta keep that one quiet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell us
for
all
everyone
there.
listening, he
Now I'm
didn't bring
curious.
anything home.
I
Nothing.
took some soil,
All he brought was lovely memories.
lovely memories, and some soil. I don't know, a
And some
rock.
ale and a cup.
Yeah.
Would Gettysburg soil count as graveyard dirt?
Yeah,
Ooh,
you can't
technically, yeah.
touch anything. Yeah, it's
100%.
historical. You can't touch, according to as an anthropology, archaeology, you can't touch anything, even the soil, the grass, the plants, nothing. It's 100% pure. That soil, you could get arrested for taking
No, but I'm
anything.
saying, like, with the whole purposes of like metaphysical, the graveyard soil, because of all the,
I know what
the
you're saying.
bodies there.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I always recommend not taking anything but leaving something. That's
Yeah.
my practice.
I would not take anything from Gettysburg. I don't want to curse.
Well, I always just leave tobacco. It's easy. What's one cigarette?
I just need to ask you what beer number are you on?
Oh man. Oh, probably 4.
Right. Well, I've been told
Yeah.
once you get to 9, we'll find out what he took. No, we'll keep count.
Question for guests from Wood Train Rider: who would win in a beard off, Dr. Wu or Eric Paranormal Hideaway?
Beer or drinking beer?
Beard, beard off.
Oh, beard. Oh,
Oh.
8 months no shave.
Well, Eric can't. My other brother couldn't either. We actually have 2, not 1, but 2 Cherokee relatives in our. We have a great grandfather Cherokee full blood on our mother's side, and a full blown Cherokee female, our grandmother on our father's side. So the genetics that come down, Eric can't grow a full beard on his side right here. He can, Eric, a little bit, right?
yeah, just a little bit, but it doesn't really connect.
Yeah.
don't
And
even
so my
try.
older brother couldn't, and my dad could a little bit, but not much either, kind of like Eric's. But for some reason, well, I exploded. The more hair I lost on my head, the more I grew in my face.
It just
There we go.
fell down.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so there's my beard story. And it's great though, because beards raise testosterone. People didn't know that. Genetically, they raise testosterone, and they're better for you. And if you get punched in the face, your jawbone won't break. All the benefits for having beards is really there, especially guys that have low libido and you want to increase your male testosterone.
That's 30 years of growing.
You know, there's something, Bob, I don't think Andy knows that, 3 years ago, we did a show about showing the DNA connection from our family to the UK that, we, by the bloodline, and this is no joke, that we are the true king and queens of the UK.
Well, I went there to debunk
our
that.
bloodline should have been there, not who you have now.
That's why I went there. Yeah, I went there because it's a myth in our family, and I wanted to debunk it. So I went there and found out, holy shit, it's true. Holy cow. I can't, is Winedig, I can't remember his name. He's was the original Welsh king of England, the original Welsh. He was the king in Wales. And Windig, I can't remember how you say his name, but he would be our biological grandfather, whatever. So he was usurped by what you have now. They usurped him, and the family scattered and went up to Ireland, caught on boats, and went to the States. And this was through the Evans family. And so the Evans family went there, and there was a complete lineage. They were all the way down to the point where I thought it was funny because I thought it was a myth. Like that's. There was a guy, his name was Evans, and he puts a full. You guys can look at it. It's online now. A full front spread thing in the London Times, telling the royal family that when the Queen passes, he's gonna take over, and it's labeled like American King, and he has the complete lineage line. So I'm like, this is weird, man. And his last name is Evans. Our mother's names was Evans, and then we found out. Wait a minute, holy cow! Our mom is related to that. Yes, that's him. Our mother is related to them. I said, so that goes down to us. I go, shit. We
should be the king and prince of England, of the United Kingdom.
So I hung out with an educated person who went to college, all this advanced school and stuff. And I said, help me debunk this. So we went to the library, we did the whole genealogy thing. And I said, holy cow, man, it's true.
Wow.
So I was running around England going, I'm the king, technically.
So they're worshiping the wrong people, the wrong group.
Yes. Damn them.
I think we should go and take over.
Yeah, please do.
Immediately, marijuana is going to be legal across the board. I figured the palace is going to be a fantastic place to have a grow operation. We're just going to have a really good time. Hey, and
Bob is older. He'll be the king. I'm the prince. I get it.
Unless he takes a little fall
on the stairs.
I could. My blood fits the key button because I have O negative blood, so I can touch it and it'll open up. But yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Oh, and every Wednesday, nobody goes to work because everybody does archery.
Nice.
On Wednesday.
I've always wanted to do archery. Not bothered what day of the week. I get a day off to do it.
If you get back,
it'll be on Wednesday.
Take America back.
Oh yeah, because technically I can still run for president because I'll be an American citizen still. So I could run for president and be the king of England at the same time. Mm-hmm. Double down. We'll double down on this.
We've got dual emperor. The dual emperor.
Well,
or
actually,
you can just go with, you know what? It doesn't count. The whole revolution doesn't count because
it's now in void. It'll be in void.
All we need to do then is get the UK and America and just push them back together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're going to do. When I become the king of England and then run for president and have a double down, we're going to fix all the problems.
Just pop over to Loch Ness and ask Nessie to help, just scooch them back together.
I'm going to ride him, though. I'm going to ride him. How many seconds? 8 seconds, right? 8 seconds? How much is the 8 seconds, right? For a bull?
Bull riding, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do 8 seconds on Nessie. I'm thinking about it.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, it'll be mandatory for all males in England and Scotland.
I've got that.
You're right.
I don't know if you guys know this. You see how JoJo wrote Eric for president? You know why she wrote that? Because every 4 year during the election, I actually fill out the application to technically run for president. So technically, I am running for president of the United States of America. It's just I don't have a million signatures. I can't get my name on the ballot. But technically, you can write my name in, Eric Wood, and you're voted for me to be president because I actually fill out the application every 4 years. So
Yeah.
technically, I am running for president.
But I'll tell you, statistically, Eric will not win. And it's not that the people don't like him, is that you have to write his name out completely full. So you have to write Eric Eugene Wood. And I'd say the bulk of the citizens don't know how to spell Eugene.
Yeah.
So they would get his name wrong.
Eugene, something like that. I don't know.
You have a pretty good shot. A lot of people have seen Tangled, and Flynn Rider's real name is Eugene. So
As long as people can
younger
spell Eugene.
generation, fun.
Because it'd have to be Eric Eugene Wood.
And I would be
No
a
S.
damn good president.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then my first rule is I'll go to war with the UK until they put you back in king.
Yeah, well, I'll be Secretary of State or something.
Oh no! Wait till I've emigrated to the US, then go to war.
But we'll bring you into the party, and then we'll take over, and Bobby King, and then you could
That's
be
fine.
in charge of whatever.
I can give you some quick links to get to places and how to take over and all that. Give you
Just
some.
go over on the underground, the tube.
Well, I mean, isn't old not Prince, but whatever Charlie, isn't he in the hospital right now with some kind of cancer, man? That's pretty bad. Maybe I have a shot.
What does he have, like prostate cancer or something?
Yeah, it's not the best one to get. Not that any of them are good to get, but that's one of the quicker ones, should we say?
So I'm just saying I have a chance then now.
Yeah.
I have a good chance now.
Yeah.
This conversation was interesting this evening. Like,
do you know what? It's gone nowhere where I imagined in my head it was going to go.
It went nowhere and everywhere.
So I had it like all there, and it's just gone.
We like to expand our minds here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing. We're expanding our mind.
Question for you two. What are you doing on Friday the 8th of March?
I can't even think that far ahead.
Friday
What month is it now?
2 weeks.
What month is this?
February.
Yes.
Couple days
3
after
weeks.
February.
3 weeks.
Let me check my schedule. I don't have one.
I don't make plans. I'm always.
I have an owl, but I don't have a schedule. You guys don't carry an owl around? Come on.
I was. You know when you don't expect that? I really did not expect that.
It's the wise old owl. Everybody has to have one. And it keeps the birds away. You guys think I'm joking because I'll be sitting here and there's like hundreds of birds everywhere. So if I have an owl sitting here, it keeps the birds from bothering me. So I have an owl here. It's to scare the birds.
It's amazing.
Sure it is.
It does, yeah.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
March 8th is a Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Friday's good.
Do you want to come back on and we'll carry this on?
Sure.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Is that all right, Unico?
Bigfoot story or anything.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because we didn't even get into the Giants.
We've not even got into paranormal, really.
You guys want to hear about them Giants, don't you?
I want to hear about the Giants.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about Giants, and I forgot all about them.
Well, they're
You know,
there.
this is just so much fun.
I
They're at the
know.
Smithsonian. They're in the Smithsonian.
Ugh, we got to bump this up to like 4 hours.
Oh wow! I'm gonna
Yeah.
get drunk then.
We could. I can't tonight because I've got to get trained
I'm
at stupid
kidding.
o'clock.
Oh no, we'll
Should
come back
know
on.
better. I was kidding.
We'll
No.
come back on.
No. Don't kid to me about extra hours because you know straight away is
I know.
that's like a light bulb moment.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about Giants then.
Yeah.
Anything.
We have a starting topic for next time.
Well-
Shoot, I saw a lot of stuff at the Smithsonian.
So, what was it like working there? Was it like just wow? Was it one of them, or was you expecting to? Was that one of your aims? Was to be working there?
Yeah, that's what I went to university for, and I got a job with the government, and I was a government employee, and yeah, I was in there. And you had to do a whole background, FBI, you got to have clearance, and all that fun stuff, and you get wand in, you get wand out. It's like at the airport every day. So
You.
there are, and because I know you guys have to wrap this up, but just to give you guys an idea, what you see on top is for the public. The top is for the public. You guys, okay? What's below it are tunnels, and below it's for the actual doctors, the actual people doing research and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff is downstairs. And I was in the vertebrae department, so I've been in some rooms, and there's some rooms. And I was telling people before what my job was, and one of the rooms was just to add alcohol to the jars. So you have a little, it bounces, it checks the buoyancy of the water to alcohol ratio, because what's inside of it is in the vertebrae family, or in the family in general. So they would have large tanks, and I would pump, checking the buoyancy, and I'd add alcohol, whatever. But the point is, what's inside them jars are freaking amazing. What's in them jars are amazing.
Are you going to share what's in them jars?
If I were to do in a nutshell on the majority of stuff, it would be like jellyfish, octopus, but more like a jellyfish, very large ones, jellyfishy, and they're floating in the jar. There was a giant squid there. Also, the coelacanth. You guys remember the coelacanth they found? That's in there. All kinds of stuff. And when I say football-sized field with jars of all and everything different and weird in there.
Everything that shouldn't exist, but lived in jars.
Yeah, because it's the job of the government's job at the Smithsonian to preserve everything that they find. Everything. And it's important. So let's not hate the government on that one. They're doing a hell of a job. And
they're just not shouting about it.
No. And it is too much to talk about. It's just too much. And then they want to go in there, and they want to contaminate everything, and they want to get dirty. And it's like I always joke about, once you open up a cave with the stalactites and the stalagmites, everybody's in there with their mom and their kids, and they're touching everything. And next thing you know, everything's ruined.
It's all broken.
Yeah.
I get that, because the light and, exposure can ruin things. Plus, if they don't know exactly what something is, people think that you're hiding it, you're mislabeling it. Like, why can't you? They might not know 100% what a specimen is, but they don't want to just chuck it.
Yeah. And like I said, you also had to have firefighting training. And I had to do firefighting. I already had firefighting training from the military, because I used to be in the Navy. And because, again, that's alcohol in these jars. It's highly explosive. So, and I had special spark-free shoes. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I had to wear special clothes. And I wore a white lab coat, and all my stuff could not spark. You know what I'm saying?
Nylon.
We're talking about
everything.
Pure cotton.
Boo.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So some things are, for safety reasons. It's like everyone's like, oh no, they're keeping us from the truth. They're keeping you from blowing it up, mostly. Bunch of people storming in there with their static clothes, and look, I told you it's real. Boom.
Yeah, because you can't tell us anything. They tell you, right on the gas station things. Do not use your cell phone at the pump. And 9 out of 10 times you see people stand there like this, getting their gas.
Yeah.
Well, growing up, you used to be able to keep your car on.
Yeah.
I know people that still do.
Yeah, some people still do, yeah.
You get arrested for that in the UK. I'm telling you.
You get arrested for anything in the UK. What are you talking about? Just throw a word out there and say, illegal. Mail you a check. Is a check mailed? Or no, tickets are mailed. There's a ticket in your mailbox. There's several tickets in your mailbox. What the hell's going on? The cops there just mail tickets to people. They don't even pull you over. They just illegal. And then they mail you tickets.
Yeah.
No, not traffic cameras. Cops themselves.
Traffic camera. I did a speed awareness the other week. Because every time you get a ticket, you get 3 points. 12 points, you get a ban. And because I drive for a living, I'm going to say it's my second speed awareness course, and I've got 3 points.
Ooh.
So
They're starting to
bad.
do that
No,
here.
wasn't-
The campground on the highway.
I was coming out of like a 15 to a 30, and they get you right. It's always on a bend, and as you come round, you don't have time to slow down to that, and straight away got you.
Yeah.
So,
People in America are going, they're going to walk away with this. I did not know England was that oppressed. We thought it was a joke. They're like, nah, they're oppressed. Bad. Like, God damn, I thought this was like, is this a movie? What is this? This is for real.
it's a crap movie if it is.
God, you guys are so oppressed. It's so funny. And nobody knows that because you watch the cool English movies and you watch all the stuff
all
and
the
you
love
see,
stories, and
but they don't know what real life is like for the common person. Ha! Oppressive. But yeah, Smithsonian. Yeah, containers, lots of things. They store everything. So there's your answer for that.
So-
one.
We're gonna get deep into that.
I've got a question. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer it or not. So when these specific cryptids are discovered by Joe Public, and they send the DNA and whatever off for it to be tested,
Yeah.
and then the lab results and all that just never appear, and everyone
No.
denies our knowledge of it.
Good question. And I'm going to answer to you. And in fact, I've already answered it. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. The majority of these things were found back in the 1800s and early 1900s. And so their tissues no longer value. They immediately put them in alcohol and water, which ruins anything and everything. Remember, the tissues, it's pickled.
Yeah.
So the majority of things in there cannot be tested. They're pickled.
Right.
So you just see them. That's they don't take.
You don't need.
No, and they're only for visualization. You can't take samples from them. They're floating globules in alcohol water.
Yeah.
So there's no samples. So basically, this is for visual only to keep them preserved as intact in the water.
They were found. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is no data for their DNA. So there is
But
no
if
answer.
you've got that visual knowledge, then you're not going to need the data, right? Because you can
don't
see
need
what.
And you can't anyway because of the alcohol. Yeah,
Yeah.
So you can't. So that's a good question. No one's ever asked that.
Huh.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Right, see?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good at some
No one's ever asked me, have they done tissue tests on it? I said, well, they can't. They're pickled.
Apparently, there's no law in the UK yet for asking good questions, but that might start tomorrow.
Yeah,
door.
Yeah, that's a good question. Any more questions about Smithsonian?
Yeah, but I want to save them for next time.
Then save them for next time. Yeah,
I do, because I'll be thinking, thinking a lot now.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a question for Eric. What made you decide to start a YouTube channel? What was the initial? What was it? A person or?
This is kind of funny in a way. In a way, Bob started his YouTube channel first. So Bob had a YouTube channel, and then I had a YouTube channel like after him with a total different name. It was called Mr. True Thoughts. It was like a year after Bob's channel. It was like 2019. And what happened where this channel I have now kind of existed was my other channel kept getting shut down by YouTube.
Right.
Because after a year, I decided to interview Bob on the Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
And never did anything wrong on my channel. Nothing wrong at all. So as soon as I did an interview with Bob on the Mandela Effect, the day after, my channel got shut down.
Oh.
Because it was, I don't know. The funny thing is, Bob does it on his channel. He doesn't get shut down.
Yeah, I showed my penis on camera, so.
Yeah.
They didn't shut me down.
Yeah. I get shut down. So a week later, I opened another channel, Mr. Truth Thoughts. I added an underscore onto it.
Yeah.
Interviewed Bob a second time for a Mandela Effect. Got shut down. It's like back in the day, you talk about the Mandela Effect, you're getting shut down.
I got shut down on this show when I just started. They kicked me
what
out.
happened was when I had this channel I do now was called Gypsy Road, and Bob got strikes on his channel, so he couldn't go live. So Bob was staying at my house for that time, and Bob's like, well, I got this other channel that still existed, the Gypsy Road channel. Let's just go on there. And we went on, talked about running for president, and I show everybody the form that I filled out, the envelope, putting in, and then I don't know, it just kept going and going. We just, it never stopped really. So, so the other channel kind of happened by accident in a way, because Bob got strikes. When you get strikes, you can't go live for a week. And I think Bob had 2 strikes where he couldn't go on for a month.
Yeah.
So he just kind of went live on my channel, and then
I'm always getting strikes. Just got over one not too long ago.
So
I don't know why.
We've been doing this stuff since 2019. Might not be as long as some other people, but we've been doing this for 2019. And the idea was simple. It was, we were going to talk about whatever we wanted. UFOs, Bigfoot, paranormal. We're going to talk about it all, because we always felt there's a connection between everything, and we wanted to know what those connections are.
Yeah. Well, I was on a Snoopy team, which is in the Navy, which I looked for unidentified objects on my ship. So I already know about them. So I'm like, yeah, it's easy. Let's hear people talk about what they see in the sky. Let's see if we can debunk it, identify it. Most things are drones. Most things are just drones.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to interrupt you.
No. It's already done. I mean, that's that's the reason why we are on. We still talk to different people, invite them on, hear different stories on different sides, and we always try to do a channel where we don't push people to believe something. We tell people are in, and it's up to them. So it's kind of an open type of channel. We never force any belief on anybody, especially when you start talking about the Mandela effect. When you start talking about the Mandela effect, everybody thinks you're crazy. You're nuts. More crazy than the Bigfoot. More crazy than the paranormal. You start talking about the Mandela effect, it's like a whole new world.
Yeah.
Alternative
People
memories.
just don't want to accept that.
I like the Mandela effect.
The thing is, funny thing is, people accept time travel. They'll accept multiverse and all that. But I'm like, well, if you accept those, then what do you think with the Mandela effect is? The memory. It's funny how people accept certain things, but they won't accept something else, and they're judging it by the name. If you take away the name, it's just a phenomenon that weird things happen. Like you put your keys on the table, and somehow you find it in the bedroom. How? Where? I think JoJo wrote in there. They wanted you to ask me about like what happened with me with the MRI. I don't know.
Oh, you were telling me about that with the ring.
The ring,
the wedding ring.
What?
Yeah.
What happened, Bob? It was Friday night. I had to go to the VA.
Listen, Bob.
I had to go to the VA hospital for an MRI on the right leg. It was at 7 p.m. at night. So, and the VA hospital, a lot of that same hospital, and the one in off of Columbia, Martin Luther King.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been there.
So I'm on the second floor, and like I said, at 7 p.m. that hospital's like empty. So they put me in a room, to get dressed or whatever you need to do. And I remember sitting down. I remember hearing. I thought I heard like some voices. I can't remember exactly now. God, it's only been last week. Like, hey you.
Voices?
Like hey you, and I remember I get up and like, oh, are they calling me already? And I walk by the hallway, and a worker came out. Oh, we're not ready for you yet. Oh, I thought I heard somebody calling me out or calling me. No, we'll come and get you. So what happened with the wedding ring was you can't wear anything metal when you do an MRI because of the magnets and all that, right?
Yeah.
So I took out the wedding ring and I opened up the drawer and I put it right there on the drawer thing.
Yeah.
And then I go in, do my MRI, boom, 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 big noises, you get the headphones and all that, ding, 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 ding. And once you're done, you go in the room. Okay, you can get dressed. You can just leave. So I go in the room, and I grab my jacket. I put everything on, and I also heard a voice again, like bye, and there was no workers around. So that was cool. but the thing is, what she's talking about is, I go, I'm in the car, we're driving away, and I'm like, holy fuck, I forgot my ring on the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
God damn.
Yeah.
And the thing is about the VA hospital, it's not a VA. You can't just call a number and go directly to a department. You call the number, it's 1-800 number. You get this group, and they send
it's all
a
over the
message.
place.
So if you leave your ring, you're screwed. It's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just can't go to the department. And then I'm like, God damn it. And then I was like doing this, like,
Oh, yeah.
in my pocket.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I did not put it in this freaking pocket. I remember putting it right there because it was the last thing I took off because I almost forgot because they said no metal.
Yeah.
And I remember it was hard. And I did not put it in my freaking jacket.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, the wife's going to get so pissed off. She's going to think that I'm swinging because I don't have, I lost my ring. And somehow it was magically in the jacket. It was there. I'm telling you, I did not put it there.
No, it's been weird.
I had a feeling that the spirit, the voice I heard, knew I was going to forget it, and I have a feeling they put it in there for me. I truly believe
crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That is mad.
You know,
somebody was watching out for you.
Reminds me of Manchester. I gave a person I was staying with my debit card to go down and buy groceries. Comes back and I said, "Oh, cool." I always immediately say, "Hey, got my card. I'm going to put it away." And this person's like, "Oh, no, I left it at the store." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So they call it up. The store, this is the evening. The store says, "No, we got your card. We're going to put it in the safe. We're going to lock it up and stuff. You can pick it up tomorrow morning." Really cool. I think it was small, cool stores. And so the next day I'm like, "Well, let's go get my card." It's locked away in the safe. And we walked in there and the lady's like, yeah, I was the one on last night, whatever. And they went over to the safe and they opened it up and there's no card. And I'm like, "Oh, no, man. Oh, come on." And they're like, the lady's like, no, I'm the last one. The manager's like, no, there was nobody else that has they're like confused. I'm like, well, there's nothing we can do. And they'll call me if something happens and I get back home and my card is there sitting on top of the cabinet, my card. And I'm like,
That's weird.
huh? And then the lady clearly had it locked away in the safe. She explained to me, well, she has to verify as me, so she's like Robert Wood, so it's mine. And I told it's a what kind? It's a Visa, and I gave them whatever description of it. I know the last few numbers, whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll get it for you the next day." And so it's there, but it wasn't there. It was at home. Like, what? I don't.
That's crazy.
And this other person was like, "I'm having a freak out." I'm like, "I'm having a freak out."
Did you call them and tell them that, like, hey, it's at home?
Yeah, we called them back and said, "It's here. We have it." And they're like, "How do you have it?" Like, did we go into the safe at night and open it up and take it out? Because now we look suspects,
Yeah.
Because that's impossible. I swear to God, it's a true story.
Seems like there's some kind of connection that does that for us. Because before all that, we had another brother who kind of became a sister.
Oh yeah,
long story there, and passed away, and I had to clean out the room, and he or she had this beautiful Ouija board. It was no Parker Brothers. I mean, it was a nice Ouija board, but we didn't want to play with it because the death was kind of questionable. So we took the Ouija board, we threw it in the garbage. Bob remembers we threw it in the garbage.
Yep.
And the next day, it was back in that room. And we asked everybody in the house, come on, you guys are fucking with us. Somebody took it out of the garbage and put it here, right? And everybody says, no, we wouldn't do something like that, Yeah,
I still question your kids. What if they did that?
We still question, but we did it again. We put it back in the garbage and it reappeared again. Now, the kids said they never did that. Nobody said they never did that. So the third time, we actually decided to burn it.
Yeah, burn it.
But somehow it keeps reappearing back in the room.
Yeah, that thing is possessed.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'd just leave it and never go back to that room ever again.
Yeah, no, these things are real, man. These things, these weird things are real now. One out to debunk, and back to Manchester. Manchester proved to me that they're real because there was impossible things. Impossible. I call it statistically. So I run everything in probabilities in my head. What's the probability of you getting struck by lightning? It's 1 in a million, right? Well, certain things are like 1 in a trillion that happen there. And I'm like, okay, the probabilities are weird here. Like since this whole phenomenon started with the, I learned this word in Manchester, the discrepancy errors, and things keep changing, all the discrepancy errors.
Yep.
The probabilities of these things happening are 1 in a trillion. So it's like life right now is the probabilities are thrown out the window. Anything could happen. When it comes to UFOs and things that are interdimensionals and all these strange things that keep happening, and everyone's experiencing them, everybody across the board. Like, people still come up to me and they say, do you remember the Bible? I said, yeah, I know the Bible. My grandfather was a freaking minister. I know had to go to anyways. What? And I took theology in college. So was it the lion that laid with the lamb, or was it the wolf that dwelled with the lamb? And I'm like, it's the lion that laid with the lamb, 100% across the board. I mean, I know that. So, but now it's the wolf that dwelled with the lamb, but I needed to debunk this. So I went to that library we talked about in Manchester, the one they filmed Harry Potter in. I went up to the top because I have access still to all the, I have clearance. So I went into the old books room where I got to put on the white gloves. I want to see an oldest Bible you have. The oldest Bible, please. Open that old Bible up. I looked in there, and there it is, canine, dog. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Oh, shit. It's changed all the way back the hundreds of years. So a lot of these changes, especially in the Bible and a lot of these things, they've been there. I saw the evidence. It's in there, the oldest of Bibles. Its changes go all the way back. So am I saying it's plausible now? Absolutely. The Bible changed. I've seen the evidence.
Wow.
Yeah. And you guys can too. You're in Manchester. You can go to the library, go up to the old books room, tell them you would like to see this book. They will sign you on a list. You probably have to take a little test or whatever to make sure you're a normal person, and go into the old books room. Go in there and look at the old books. You could learn a lot in there. A lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
That's another rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you gotta go to the tower that strikes 13.
Yes.
A lot of places.
That's definite for Sunday. Definitely doing that Sunday.
And when you go into that library, in Manchester, I want you to grab like a mirror, have like a mirror that faces up like this, and have it angled. So when you walk, you're gonna see all the different faces and the green man expressions going down. It's kind of like a code. And you can, the whole place is one big old huge code. You like codes, that's your thing. Yeah. So go in there and make sure you got a mirror that you can bend it like that, and then walk and look at the mirror, and you can look up and see, you see all the different faces for the green man. And as you go around the museum, there's a whole lot of codes for you to decipher.
Was it Central Library or John Rylands? Do you know? They are right next to each other.
Well, it's the one they filmed Harry Potter in. That's what I heard.
So it's going to be the Albert Hall, which is a town hall library. So that's probably John Rylands.
I think that's it. And you also have like this museum where a guy committed suicide. Like, he jumped off the building.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a museum in Manchester. Someone has to look this up because I can't remember the guy's name.
Science and Industry Museum.
Oh, I was in all over that one too. But there's another, like the Riley or the somethings theater too. Anyway, it's a whole section.
John Ryland's library is the one they filmed Harry Potter in.
Okay, yeah. So that's the one. Yeah, so that's the one I was out. You want to do that to look for all the codes and stuff. That one. But there's, again, I went to all your all of your museums. They're amazing, and I even went to your exhibits on POW camps on that island. That name of that island. With the cats with no tails.
Oh,
Cats no tails.
Manx cats.
Yeah, Manx cats.
Manx cats. Is it the Isle of Man?
Isle of Man.
Yeah, the 3 leg. Yeah.
And so the Isle of Man had prisoners from so America had Operation Paperclip, and Britain had the Isle of Man. And so they got all the cousins and whatevers of the physicists. They couldn't get, so they got the second string. So Britain got the second string of the smart peoples that have all this knowledge of technology, and they put them on the Isle of Man. And it was a concentration camp during the World War II. Yeah. So Isle of Man had, and so if you go to the Isle of Man, there's a whole lot of interesting things you can learn about these guys that were there in the concentration camps on the Isle of Man in World War II. And there's lots of stories. You got to look that up, man. You could do a show on that.
I know. We will. Right. Unfortunately, we're going to have to bring it to an end.
Yeah.
Because we're over the 2-hour mark. Massive thank you guys for coming on.
Yes, it was
I cannot
really
wait.
interesting.
I cannot wait for the second part of this. I'm going to have a ton of questions for the parent. I really
I
am.
already have a bunch.
Yeah.
They're already like formulating in there.
I need to write them down because I will forget. So thank you, Bob. Thank you, Eric. Like I said, Bob, have you still got the YouTube channel, Bob?
Oh, yeah, I'm up now. It caught me off strike. Yeah. It's
what's it called?
Robert Wood. Robert Wood,
Easy
that's
as
it.
that.
Yeah.
And then Eric's is Paranormal Highway.
Yep.
Please do
Yeah.
subscribe to both of them because, as you can see, amazing people.
Mhm.
So massive thank you for coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Well, this is during the time right now when we usually do our show, so we just did ours on yours.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone.
I'm going to get hammered here in a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, that means you're gonna have a hell of a show tonight, people.
Yeah. I'm going to get drunk.
Oh boy.
Right.
Warmed up.
Right, so I'm going to say goodbye. There's possibly a live stream tomorrow night because I'm going to the Minicon Awakening in Bolton, the Dark Side to Ufology. So, gonna probably, depending on how much I have to drink, whether I do the stream or not. It might just be Facebook Live, but there will be some content going out at some point tomorrow.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. That will be interesting depending on how much you drink.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting is a word I wouldn't use.
We got to get Andy and Dr.
that's
Wu to
me.
be drunk together and do a show together. with the
Oh, God.
drinking.
We'll just do a show. We just go beer to beer, man. And then the whole sidebar, everyone's in the sidebar. We got ice chests ready. We got all kinds of beers ready.
We're just gonna have a drinking game show where you just do a shot.
Then we'll be doing Cannonball coming.
Right, and on that note, I need to end it. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Anyone who's going up to Bolton, I'll see you there tomorrow. If not, we are back on Wednesday with Michaela Ford, who does Paranormal or What podcast. And then hopefully Sarah will be on that one. If not, we'll see.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Yeah, everything will be sorted.
Birthdays.
So, yeah, have a great weekend. Thanks, guys. Thanks to everyone in the chat. And that's all I've got. Speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.